Let me tell you a story about two neighbors. They live on the same street. They work similar jobs. And last month, they both walked into the same dealership to buy the exact same truck. Specifically, a brand new Ford F-150. Now here's where things get interesting. Neighbor number one, Derek, is what you'd call a smart buyer. He did everything right. He spent weeks researching prices online. He checked dealer invoice numbers. He studied negotiation tactics on YouTube. And when he walked into the dealership, he negotiated like a machine. Back and forth. Offer after offer. Walking away twice. Finally, he got the dealership to sell him the truck for just $50 above the invoice price. Derek walked out of the dealership feeling like a financial genius. He told his wife, "I practically stole that truck." But here's the part Derek doesn't know. The dealership still made over $3,000 in profit from him. Hard beat in music. Now let's talk about neighbor number two, Travis. Travis is the kind of guy who believes one thing about money. Cash is king. No loans, no banks, no debt. So Travis walked into the dealership with a completely different strategy. He told the salesman immediately, "I'm paying cash. Give me your best price." Sounds smart, right? But something strange happened. Travis ended up paying $2,400 more than Derek for the exact same truck. Same dealership, same vehicle, same week. Yet one guy paid thousands more. Why? Because in modern American car sales, cash isn't king anymore. In fact, cash can actually make you the most profitable customer in the building. And today, I'm going to show you the 14 hidden profit layers inside American car dealerships, the tricks used in the finance and insurance office, and the exact negotiation strategy that professional buyers use to get the lowest price possible. Because once you understand how the system works, you'll realize something shocking. The real money in a car dealership isn't made on the car. It's made on you.
The American auto industry is enormous. Every year in the United States, Americans purchase over 15 million new vehicles. And when you include used cars, that number jumps to nearly 40 million vehicles sold annually. The total value? Over $1.2 trillion. That makes car sales one of the largest retail industries in the entire country. But here's the twist. Despite those massive numbers, car dealerships often claim they barely make money on the cars themselves. And in some cases, they're telling the truth. Because the dealership business model has quietly evolved into something very different. Today, dealerships make most of their profits from three hidden systems most buyers never notice. System number one, manufacturer kickbacks. System number two, financing spreads. And system number three, the most dangerous room in the entire dealership, the finance and insurance office. But before we get there, we need to destroy one of the biggest myths in car buying, the idea that the invoice price is the dealer's cost. Because once you understand what invoice pricing really means, you'll see why Derek's great deal wasn't actually great at all.
When most Americans research a car price, they check three sources. Websites like Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds. These sites show three important numbers: MSRP, market price, and dealer invoice price. Most buyers believe the invoice price is what the dealership paid the manufacturer, meaning if the dealer sells the car at invoice, they made zero profit, right? Wrong, because the invoice price is only the visible layer of the deal. Behind the scenes, manufacturers pay dealerships hidden money after the car sells, and the first one is called holdback. Holdback is typically 2% to 3% of the MSRP. It's paid by the manufacturer directly to the dealership after the sale is completed. So if a truck has an MSRP of $50,000, the dealership may receive $1,000 to $1,500 in holdback profit, even if they sell the vehicle at invoice, which means Derek's $50 above invoice deal still made the dealership money. But holdback is just the beginning,
Because the real money starts with something called volume bonuses. The apartment is on the second floor.
Car manufacturers don't just reward dealerships for selling cars. They reward them for selling lots of cars. This system is called stair-step incentives. Here's how it works. Let's say a dealership must sell 120 trucks in 1 month. If they hit that target, the manufacturer might pay them a $50,000 bonus. Now imagine it's the last day of the month, and the dealership has sold 119 trucks. They're one sale away from unlocking that huge bonus. In that situation, the dealership might be willing to sell the next truck at a loss, because losing $1,000 on the deal still unlocks the $50,000 reward. That's why professional car buyers often shop at the end of the month, because that's when dealerships are desperate to hit their targets. But even those bonuses are nothing compared to the most profitable part of the dealership. And that happens after you think the deal is finished. Right after you shake hands with the salesman. Right before you sign the paperwork. When you enter the room known as the F&I office. Most buyers think the salesperson is the person making the money. But inside a dealership, the highest paid employee isn't the salesperson. It's the finance manager. This person sits in a quiet office, behind a desk, with a stack of paperwork. And their job isn't to sell cars. Their job is to sell money. Every year in America, about 85% of new cars are purchased with financing, which means millions of buyers sign auto loans. And most of them don't realize something important. Dealerships don't just arrange loans. They mark them up. If the bank approves you for a 5% interest rate, the dealership may present the loan to you as 7%. That extra 2%, that's called a rate markup, and the dealership gets paid a commission from the bank for it. Over a 5-year loan, that markup alone can cost you thousands of dollars. But financing isn't even the biggest profit source in the F&I office, because the real money comes from something else. Extended warranties, gap insurance, paint protection, tire coverage, ceramic coating. These products can have profit margins over 500%, meaning something that costs the dealership $200 might be sold to you for $1,200. And this is exactly why dealerships love financing customers, because the F&I office is where the real profits are made. Which brings us back to Travis, the guy who proudly announced, "I'm paying cash." Because the moment he said those words, he unknowingly destroyed his biggest negotiation advantage.
So let's go back to Derek and Travis one last time. Two neighbors, same dealership, same truck, but completely different outcomes. Derek negotiated hard, but he still didn't understand the full system. Travis believed one of the oldest money myths in America: cash is king. But in the modern car business, cash isn't king. Information is. Because once you understand how dealerships actually make money, the entire negotiation changes. You stop focusing on monthly payments. You stop revealing your strategy too early. And suddenly, you're not just another customer in the showroom. You're the one controlling the deal. And that's the real secret professional buyers understand. Not just when buying a car, but in almost every financial decision. The people who win are the ones who understand how the system works behind the scenes.
If this video helped you see the car buying game differently, make sure you hit the like button, because every like tells YouTube to show this video to more people who might be about to walk into a dealership without knowing these tricks. And if you enjoy videos that break down money, psychology, and hidden systems in simple terms, then subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because every week we expose the strategies that smart buyers and wealthy people use, but most people never learn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.